PowerPoint is still, come on. Thank you. PowerPoint is still downloading the slides. Come on. Good morning, everybody.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good morning. Are we starting now?
I don't know. I will be starting as soon as I can get the slides to open. They're being very coy. PowerPoint is verifying that I'm actually allowed to use them. How is everybody?
Everybody seems to be amazing.
So excited.
We have a very international call today from all over the world to all the time zones. You are actually also somewhere in some time zones, probably mentally, because you're traveling so much right now, huh, Dr. Carolyn?
This time I'm actually home. I'm in Portland, Oregon.
But you just came from Germany, Berlin, right?
Just came from Germany. I was in England, Ireland, and then Germany.
Wow.
And
there you go.
Come on.
It's like a deja vu. We had the same thing last time, but I'm telling you, I'm not the best. I'm a 00 with anything that is related to PowerPoint. PowerPoint doesn't like me either, so understandable.
Other screen. So I guess I need to move it over here. My tech guy is not here, and I don't know what he's done with my slides. How exciting.
Max, are you recording?
No, I don't. Oh, somebody's recording.
Hang on.
This is really weird.
Somebody's recording. May, are you recording?
No, I didn't press the recording button.
Well, somebody says it's recording.
Yeah, but maybe somebody from the other languages is recording. So now this is the question. Maybe we are only able to record it in one language. I don't know. I have never done that. So for that reason,
I can record now. Actually, my record button is ready. So I'm going to start recording.
Hit it.
Okay, wait just a second. How to...
Okay, I just hit it. So I think it's recording.
Hola, David.
We are just getting ready for the meeting to start, and
I have... All right, I have my slides up, but it isn't showing them.
If it doesn't work, we can freestyle today as well.
Yeah, you can just talk through it.
There we go.
There we go.
I can see your screen.
There you all are. Okay, now I know where I am.
Okay, now you shared your screen.
There we go. So you asked me to talk about magnetic fields. Hang on. Dog. Thank you, dear. A good dog. She wants to come in and visit mom. So you asked me to talk about magnetic fields and the Healy programs.
The McMaken applications in the Mac Healy.
Okay, so do we want to talk about what it means to harmonize the bioenergetic field, or do you want to talk about...
Yes, I think that would be great. I think we should just get started. I'd like to do a proper introduction. First, I'd like to introduce Max first, and then let Max to introduce you, Miss Dr. McMaken. So welcome, everybody. I'm so excited. My name is Mei Chang, and I'm a Healy World member. And first of all, welcome, everybody, gathering together to learn from our legend, one of the legends in the frequency world. As you all know, we have a brand new device launch in Healy World. It's the Mac Healy, and everybody is buzzing, using it, having all kinds of results. But we really want to get a deeper understanding, specific on the McMaken application. So we have a special guest in the house today, but I'd like to first bring in our president, senior executive president of the company of Healy, Max Glockner. Please join us.
Thank you so much, May, for this nice, and it's not president, it's not executive, it's senior president, it's in the middle. So almost got it right. Yeah, thank you so much, May. First of all, once again, thank you so much for setting this up, for making this possible, because you've been again pushing for this meeting. You brought Dr. Carol McMaken here on the call, which is absolutely amazing, because we all know how busy she is. She's been traveling now for the last weeks around the globe, and we got her here on this call. And I think it's fascinating, because we really now 3.5 years in the business with Healy. First of all, starting with a product where nobody really had any idea what it can do, what it does. We heard stories from everything is frequencies, and there is a frequency program for simply everything. And we believed, like, if just a 0.5% of this is true, we will have a life-changing, humanity-changing company. And it happens to be so much more than this, meanwhile, because I believe 110% of the things are true, and we're really tapping into a field that so many people need to be tapping in. We are reminded of who we truly are with the technology, with a tool, which is certainly not the answer, but it's a tool on the way to get to the answer. So we are all energy, and this device has been changing so many lives over the time. And meanwhile, I believe for many of us on the call, it became a responsibility, a duty, an obligation to go out and share this device to as many people as possible. Because the last 3.5 years or so, we have seen it's been so good for so many people. And now we're always saying it again and again and again, we are just beginning. This is just the beginning now, to have a portable device on your wristbands with a portable microcurrent device that is sending you frequencies, a device which is able to kind of scan the information field and being the interface between the information field and our human body. We have this technology now, and we always said it's just the beginning. And now the beginning comes to the second step. So finally, we have a second device coming into this reservoir of devices, the Healy Healy. So, which is a device in cooperation created with Dr. Carol McMaken, and I know she will talk today about her protocols as well, because she's been the developer and the applying FSM, frequency-specific microcurrent, and I know she will talk about it much more today to many, many people around the world, and her experiences and what she found in her researches are just tremendously important. And she has been applying these or bringing these protocols into this new device, which we call the Healy. And we are just fascinated and very happy that we have this new device. And now we're very happy to hear from Carol McMaken about her experience, about how does it actually work to harmonize the bioenergetic field? How does the magnetic field, what kind of role it plays, and how does her protocols now being put into this amazing technology can affect human lives further. So we're really thankful to have you here, Caroline. Thank you so much for coming, and we're very excited to hear a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful introduction. The history between the Healy and the Mag Healy is that when I first came to Germany and met Time Waver, presented for Time Waver in 2017, I think, or maybe 18, I saw the Healy for the first time, and I asked if it was possible to put a Healy, 2 Healys in one frame and create software that would let it run 2 frequencies, which is what frequency-specific microcurrent does. We have one frequency that resonates with a condition that interferes with the harmony of a particular tissue and its function, and one frequency that targets a specific tissue. So FSM, frequency-specific microcurrent, has always been 2 frequencies. I asked that question on a Thursday, and by Saturday I had yes. So after however many years now, we finally have the mag Healy. So in order to market it to the way that Healy is marketed, we it has to be a wellness device, which means that we can't use any medical language, which is why if I'm sharing the screen, you'll see where it says harmonizing the bioenergetic field. And then you might ask yourself what the bioenergetic field is and why would you want to harmonize it? So what does a bioenergetic field mean? There's this enormous universal body of information about sort of perfect integration that's available to each one of us through our connection to the collective unconscious, or integrative conscious, as Marcus would call it. All information ever discovered and any emotion ever felt by anyone would be stored in this field and we can access it. Sheldake had a theory of morphic resonance that says that similar forms, fields of information, reverberate and exchange information within a universal life force to which we are all connected, and we can access, and this is the important part, co-create this information field. So how does the human magnetic field work? We think of ourselves as a body, but every moving electron creates a magnetic field. And your body is full of moving electrons. Your body has a magnetic field, and this creates a bioenergetic field. So the language we need to use around the mag Healy from a regulatory standpoint is that the device harmonizes the bioenergetic field. So this presentation is about what that actually means. Magnetic fields from the entire universe reach and interact with the Earth's field, and your personal magnetic field interacts with the universal field and the Earth's field. So we are all connected by this field to each other and the universal field. So how do you access that information? Well, we access all universal information stored in this field when your own bioenergetic field is in harmony, and downloads it is the computer language into our consciousness and our body. And this access creates our experience of reality. So interference between the information field and the bioenergetic field in your body reduces harmony and influences the flow of energy. So the harmony in your body energetic field determines how you connect with the energetic field. For the purposes of the mag Healy, the bioenergetic field is the energetic field known as chi or prana, depending on which culture you're in. And chi is the smooth and balanced flow of chi, your life force energy. It's the most important determinant to your health, vitality, and happiness. That's the definition of chi. Come on. Great. So if you look at the energy, some of you will be able to feel it. In Germany, I had them do an exercise where they clap their hands together and then rub them together until it's warm, and then bring your hands apart and feel the energy that's in between. your hands. You can actually feel chi. That is your energy. And some healers will use this to actually help health and wellness. Chi is very broad and in many cases usable energy because everything is energy. Energy is the power source on which we run all of our life's facets. Prana is energy in a different culture. It's an ancient understanding of the life force energy defined in modern times. So you can experience the vital force of prana through meditation, visualization, affirmations, practicing mudras with your hands. These practices can redirect negative thoughts, free up stagnant energy in the mind, and restore harmonic balance in the body. Now, if you see, this is an illustration from, I think, about 1200 years ago of the pranic body, what your pranic energy looks like. The energy centers in the body, but this is a picture of the human magnetic field. Look at the similarity between the two. That and that are virtually identical. So the question is, are you made of physical matter or are you made of energy? Or are you energy that coalesces into physical existence? So Newtonian physics describes large objects like your body, but it falls apart at the molecular level. So your body is a large object that's made of molecules, atoms, subatomic particles that are held together by electromagnetic bonds. And at the subatomic level, all matter is energy, right? From the philosophical perspective, we are not human beings having a spiritual existence. We are spiritual beings having a human existence. Einstein, if he is correct, there is no difference because matter and energy are equal, modified by a constant that is the speed of light. So for centuries, philosophers and physicists have had this discussion. There's no conclusion or certainty because there is no way to prove that one perspective is correct. So there were two slides at the very beginning of this that says the effects of the Healy programs and the energetic therapies have not been confirmed by independent studies. They can't be confirmed by independent studies because they've been working at this for thousands of years. So what's harmony? It is the absence of dissonance. It's playing musical tones as chords. It is a pleasing arrangement of parts. It's difficult to describe, but you all know it when you see it or feel it. Harmonious music feels good and uplifts the heart, and it resonates with the soul and moves the audience as one. There's harmony when the orchestra is perfectly tuned. What is resonance? So my book in many languages is called The Resonance Effect. Resonance is when two tuning forks are tuned to the same frequency and you strike this one and the other tuning fork is across the room, it will start to hum if it is the same frequency as the original one. And the ball that's up against this tuning fork will bounce. Resonance is what every bond, mechanical and chemical bond, has a frequency at which it resonates. So resonance is powerful. It sounds kind of fuzzy, but the Tacoma Narrows Bridge was flexible and it was placed across a narrow strait. there was a mild rainstorm, normal daily rainstorm that brought wind and rain and caused the bridge to sway. When the swaying reached the resonant frequency that held the bridge together, the bridges came apart. The resonance destroyed the bridge, not the force of the wind. Soldiers, when they march across a bridge in step, they found out in, I think, the 1700s, when bridges began to be made of metal, they found out that soldiers marching across a bridge in step could reach the resonant frequency that held the bridge together and cause the bridge to simply come apart. And so now to this day, soldiers break step when they reach the edge of the bridge. When a singer sings a note that breaks a 70% lead crystal glass, that effect happens when the singer's note matches the frequency that holds the lead atoms together. They begin to vibrate and the lead crystal just comes apart because the vibration between the lead atoms moves them and they just don't hold together. So how does resonance affect your body? And we'll get to the programs that are in the Mag Healy very shortly. But first, it's important that you understand how they work. Every moving electron creates a magnetic field. Your body is full of moving electrons. Your body has a magnetic field, but your body is a bioenergetic field, and every electromagnetic bond has a resonant frequency. When there is harmony, the bonds are strong. When there's interference, when something interferes with the resonance between the tuning forks, between bonds in the body, it interferes with resonance and it creates imbalance and lack of harmony. So the process doesn't work correctly. One or two violins that are dissonant, not tuned correctly with the orchestra, there's lack of harmony. And you may not know why, but you can tell. So most of us know when something is not quite right in the body. So the theory behind resonance interventions, which is what the Mag Healy is about, it's a resonance intervention, is that interference inhibits harmony, creating loss of balance and restricting the flow of energy. So then we come to the question, could specific frequencies remove interference and harmonize the bioenergetic field? All of the frequencies used in the Mag Healy and the Healy have not been confirmed by independent studies because they can't be, right? The Mag Healy Macon frequencies are designed to support well-being through harmonization, so removing interference in the bioenergetic field. And Healy has conducted unblinded surveys in controlled and randomized groups of participants. These surveys suggest that the participants' well-being was higher after the application. That means that people felt better after they used the Mag Healy. Okay. So can, for specific frequencies, remove interference and harmonize the bioenergetic field. And this is where I come in. I developed frequency-specific microcurrent in 1995, so more than 20 years ago, using specific frequencies that I found or was given from a list that I got from an osteopath who bought a practice in 1946 that came with a device that was made in 1922. And that device came with a list of frequencies. So we have been using these frequencies in my clinical practice for 27 years. And at this point, frequency-specific microcurrent has 5,000 practitioners in 23 countries. The Healy is the first time that there has been a wellness device created that puts these frequencies into a device that can be used as a wellness device. So how, let's see, come on. So how does this happen with just frequencies? Your bioenergetic field, your body, is an electromagnetic system that functions as if it is a semiconductor network because of the water in your body that turns it into a semiconductor. We use these frequencies to resonate with interference and restore harmony. I finally wrote the story of frequency-specific microcurrent in a book called The Resonance Effect. So it tells the story of how I developed frequency-specific microcurrent, how the frequencies work, and how we tested them. And it's available in English, German, French, Mandarin, and Polish, actually. So let me go to this. Once the interference is, so the interference, something interferes with resonance, it creates imbalance and lack of harmony. So once the interference removes, the resonance comes back. The frequencies appear to change the bioenergetic field electromagnetically with a specific frequency signal. The frequencies are very specific in their application. And if you have used a key fob to open your car door, you have used resonance. Your key fob opens only your car, even though there are 12 identical cars in a row, because this remote is tuned only to your car with a single frequency tuned exactly and only to your car. The frequencies seem to work like that with specific interferences that inhibit the harmony of the bioenergetic field. And you have a sense when your body is in harmony and when things are working smoothly. And you have a sense when there's lack of harmony. It usually creates discomfort or some awareness that there's a difficulty. Now, I'm going to talk about what programs are in the Healy. Right now, there are 24, but there are going to be others that will be added as the program develops. So to achieve lasting effects, the frequencies work like your key fob. They work very quickly to change the state of the tissue. But to make the effects lasting, you have to create a stable state, something that will make it permanent. So for example, the stable state we're most aware of is that of water. Water is completely stable as a solid as long as the surrounding environment is 0 degrees centigrade, right? Then it's solid, it's ice. You add energy to the system and it's completely stable as a liquid as long as the surrounding environment is between 1 and 100 degrees centigrade. Then it's completely stable as vapor, as steam, as long as the surrounding environment is 100 degrees centigrade. So correct frequencies can create changes very quickly and change the harmony of the field. And these changes can be permanent when your or your friend's metabolism, attitude, mechanics support the change in state. So when you create harmony in the field, but the person maintains a bad diet or sits in a chair in the wrong posture or is still angry all the time or has other habits that interfere with the harmony that has been created, it takes longer for these changes to become lasting, right? So you create a stable state energetically to support mental calm with diet, lifestyle, meditation, exercise. And this is from the first 2 slides where it has to be clear that the magnetic field programs of the Mag Healy are not medical applications. That started out that way, but the Mag Healy is not a medical device, it's a wellness device. The programs are not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, prevent any disease or medical condition, and the terms used in the programs don't constitute statements concerning their effects. The purpose of the programs is to provide the user with a tool to explore application options. Mag Healy programs should not be treated as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, and you should always seek advice from a qualified medical professional. These regulations, these regulatory rules are what we live with the Mag Healy. The regulatory bodies are paying attention because the Healy and the Mag Healy are making such a huge difference. And people have noticed. So this is frequency specific microcurrent, and the Mag Healy is intended to create harmony. So let me give you the names of the programs that we have on the Mag Healy. So the programs have names that are fairly that are very non-medical. They talk about harmonizing. So the first protocol is for soothing nerves. So if you have a nerve that is irritated and creating disharmony in the area that nerve feels, we found this protocol very helpful for quieting nerves that are irritated. There's soothing low back, and we can't talk about pain, because that's not allowed, but soothing and creating harmony or comfort in the low back. That's program number 2. Soothing and creating harmony in the neck. If you have discomfort or lack of harmony between the tissues in your neck, we have found over 25 years that there are specific channel A frequencies that help remove interference with the proper function and harmony of the tissues in the neck. And those tissues are on channel B. Joints have different tissues than the neck or the low back. So soothing joints and creating harmony and soothing is a good word. We can't talk about pain, but we can talk about creating soothing in peripheral joints like your elbow or your knee or your hip. Body comfort is for a particular kind of full body pain, full body discomfort or lack of harmony. Foot soothing is for a particular kind of lack of harmony. I have to be very careful in the words that I use. Lack of harmony in the foot. And it has been found to be very effective for over 25 years. Thalamic harmony is for the kind of disharmony that creates full body pain that starts in a part of the brain called the thalamus. Kidney harmony is simply to harmonize the effects of and the function of the kidneys and make the kidney function more effectively. Soothing after exercise. So sometimes when you exercise, you'll become sore the next day. And this program has been shown to produce comfort and soothing after exercise. Soothing after joint injury, which is slightly different than joint harmony. So when a joint has become injured, then this protocol has specific frequencies to help that joint function more efficiently, more harmoniously. Program number 11 is tendon harmony. So that is if you've injured a tendon or connective tissue, this helps remove the interference between the function of the tendon and the resonance in the tendon. Soft tissue is the next one. So soft tissue is this tissue, right? Any soft tissue, very superficial. If it is uncomfortable or out of harmony in the bioenergetic field, which is all we can talk about, this is soothing and removes the interference between the normal function of that tissue and makes it work more comfortably and harmoniously. And there are different frequencies that affect an injury, a joint, a soft tissue immediately after the injury, and soft tissue when that injury is 1 to 4 weeks old. So those are different frequencies. And that is why the protocol is soothing soft tissue from week 1 to week 4. Brain balancing is my favorite. and it is a favorite for FSM practitioners all over the world. It tends to make people feel grounded and just create more harmony between the brain and the body, the parts of the brain that integrate the body and brain function. It's my favorite. If you have a Meg Healy and you want to treat yourself and just feel calmer and more centered, brain balancing, you put the Meg Healy on your tummy. That's probably the best place to put it. It doesn't have straps like the Healy. It just goes over the area that's affected. You shouldn't put it on your brain and you shouldn't put it on your heart. The pictures will show that it should be on your abdomen. That one's my favorite. Harmonize emotions. There are emotions that we think of as negative, and I'm not sure they're negative, but they're emotions that, like anger and fear and resentment and worry, that get in the way of us feeling harmonious with our fellows, with our companions and our family. And over the years, these frequencies for specific emotions have been found in my practice and in 5,000 practices around the world to harmonize emotions and make you feel more balanced is a good word. Enhancing sleep seems to make it easier to fall asleep and remove the interferences in the bioenergetic field that interfere with your ability to go to sleep and sleep well and deeply. So the combination of brain balancing, harmonize emotion, and enhancing sleep, running those programs in the evening make it easier for people to rest well and to feel an enhanced sense of chi or prana, this life force that we all have. And I'm sitting here looking at the frequencies. We have harmonized digestion. So digestion is very complicated. It's a combination of nervous system contributions and digestive system contributions that come together to make digestion harmonious, make it efficient, and have it contribute to our overall sense of well-being. And program number 17 is harmonized digestion. Detoxification is the next one. And that program has to do with harmonizing the function of the liver and the detoxification systems in the body, whatever that means for you, and in whatever way that detoxification creates is body, energetic field. There's no way to separate them because the matter in your body and the bioenergetic field in your body are the same things. The next one is, it says ovary comfort. And there are times in a woman's cycle where the ovary becomes uncomfortable or disharmonious. And this protocol has been found to make the ovary more comfortable. women's programs, we have the next one is harmonize the menses. And sometimes when the menstrual cycle is disharmonious is the only word I can use. It's uncomfortable and you can tell that it's not flowing smoothly. So this program is meant to do that, to harmonize the menses and make it more comfortable. Harmonize the sinuses. So sometimes people will have a sense of lack of harmony in the sinuses. Now, you're not going to put the Meg Healy on your face or your head. The frequencies work all over your body because your body is full of water. So if you remember that slide that showed, let me go back to that slide. This slide, your body operates as a semiconductor network because the water molecules in your body create structures that are very much like a silicon chip. So if you put the Meg Healy on your tummy and the frequencies resonate throughout the system, the frequencies, the current, and the information in the information field is conveyed everywhere. So when you operate your computer, you type things in with a keyboard, which then act on everything in your hard drive. It's the same thing with the Meg Healy. So in order to affect the sinuses, the magnet and the frequencies that it produces do not have to be on your sinuses. They shouldn't be. They should be on your tummy, and the water in your body will send them everywhere, right? So wound healing, harmonized wound healing is the next one. And these are for generally wounds that you would normally get, superficial wounds. And our experience is when you remove the interference to appropriate healing, the body is able to heal wounds more effectively when you create harmony in the skin, the connective tissue, the blood supply, and all of the things that help wounds heal more effectively. If you need an antibiotic or you need a bandage or you need to see a medical physician, obviously you would do that, but you can use the Meg Healy in addition. Skin allergy reactions. If you have an allergic reaction that shows up as hives or redness in the skin, and it tends to respond to this protocol. These protocols have been in use for 25 years all over the world. And this protocol has been seen, observed to harmonize this skin allergy reaction and make it more efficient, make it more effective. They asked for something for male patients. So there is a protocol for harmonizing the prostate. And that, once again, is not any substitute for medical advice or attention or prostate massage or whatever is done in your country. But it has been observed to help the prostate be more comfortable and more harmonious. And of course, it should be combined with walking and good hydration and the other things, some herbs maybe medication, some other things that will help the prostate be healthy. And then there's a protocol called vagus harmony. And the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body, and it coordinates digestion, the immune system, your vocal cords, swallowing, blood sugar, the vagus nerve. If you look up all of the things that the vagus nerve does. And this protocol is designed to remove the imbalances that interfere with the vagus working properly. And it's also one of my favorites. So we have other protocols that may be added over time. I talked about with the Healy team when I was in Germany, and we're very excited that they're coming up. This is pretty, it's the Meg Healy is a project we've been working on for so many years that it's really exciting to finally have it in your hands where it can do people some good. So, are there questions? Anybody there? How do I do this? Now what?
Yes, we have lots of questions. So I'm going to try my best to summarize the questions. Can you guys hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, great. So I'm going to try my best to go through some of the questions. And if I miss anything in the end, please remind me on the chat. The first question is, you mentioned that the best place to put it is on your tummy, but there's like a graphic that comes with the McHealy saying that it should be put in the chest area. Do you know anything about
Yes,
that?
we talked about that when I was there, and it shouldn't be in the chest. They're going to change the graphic. You should put it down lower. The heart has a very strong magnetic field, and the McHealy puts out a magnetic field. So you want to put the device a little bit lower. So just below your sternum would be great. And I see one question here that's important. So maybe I can answer that, May?
Yes, please.
It says when it used, the McHealy heats up. And that's because the magnetic field makes the water molecules in your body vibrate. And I'd say in the last 10 years, the ideas about using ice to reduce inflammation and using heat have completely reversed in sports and in medicine in general. So if you think about ice, it's meant to constrict the blood vessels and, right, make things cold. But what is it that brings immune system support and nutrients and energy to an area that's injured or needs harmonization or support? Heat. So now, even in sports medicine, especially in sports medicine, there is, they use mobilization and a little bit of an elevation and traction and heat. So the heat that's being produced shows that, number one, the magnet is working. That's a good thing. And number two, the warmth, shouldn't be hot, but the warmth, the sense of warmth means that the magnet is working. But the other thing that has been found from 1995, when we first started using the frequencies, is when the frequencies are correct, the patient will feel a sense of warmth because the frequencies are resonating to neutralize the interference that's in the way, the imbalances that are in the way of proper function of the tissue. So the warmth is a good thing.
That's great. It's nice to know. So I guess the next question is, how often can you use the Healy? Like, is there too much, or like what would be the, like, if someone's in pain, can they use it all day long? Is there like a recommendation as to not too much, or
I have um,
how many programs a day?
I run at least 2, and I run them at night. So I run concussion, or brain balancing is what it's called here, and support the vagus, that one. I run that one at night, and run them as needed. So let's see, when my neck is bothering me, I'll just put the magnet up near my shoulder so that the field is stronger near my neck. So the field for the magnet comes out, I think, 5 or 6 inches. And you just put it near your body. And so if my neck is bothering me, I'll run that. And I don't know that we know. It just depends on what's bothering you. The ones that are useful to run as you need them is harmonizing emotions, brain balancing, vagal support, and what was the other one?
I guess you just have to follow your body, right? If you feel like maybe too tired, maybe don't run too much, and start with maybe not more than 3 a day.
I would say not more than 3 a day, because I mean, you do have other things to do. I'd say harmonizing emotions and brain balancing, and the, vagus would be the 3 that you could run easily every day, just because our lives are, if you watch the news, if you drive on the freeway, if you ride in traffic, there's stresses that interfere with a harmonious way of being, and those 3 programs in particular. So brain balancing, harmonize emotions, and support vagal harmony, those 3 you could easily run every day to help maintain health and harmony. And then if there are specific problems you have, like a scratch or a small wound, you could use that program in specific. Or if your knee hurts, you would run that program in specific. So
So,
frequent needs.
you know, a lot of us are on the go. Like, we like to run a lot of program, and not all of us have the time to actually lie down and put it on our tummy. So I was just thinking, would it be possible to put the Healy in the bag and maybe carrying that bag with you? Is that something
Well,
that you
that's a
think
great
is a good
idea.
alternative?
Sure. No, I
That could
think
be like
that's a great
driving
idea.
with the bag with my Healy, and then the magnetic field will cover a certain area. It should be fine, right?
Yeah. Well, the first thing to do, though, is make sure, because some people react when you remove the interference between the harmony. Sometimes it just makes you feel so good that you get a little bit floaty. So the best time, you should use it at home first,
Not
and
driving.
then driving. So use it at home first, see how you respond to it. The more often you use a particular program, so I run brain balancing and vagal, vagus harmony. Uh, I run that every single night. So I don't react to it anymore. It just makes me feel good and keeps me healthy. But the first time you run it, you should run it at home.
And one of the questions about pain, if you're experiencing different kind of chronic pain, back pain, what programs would you recommend?
Well, because it is a non-medical device, we can't talk about it as relieving pain.
Discomfort.
That doesn't mean it won't relieve pain, but we can't talk about it as relieving pain. What it does is remove the interference in the bioenergetic field, and I think I can say that might manifest as discomfort in the body, right? So we can only talk about it as removing um, interference in the bioenergetic field and harmonizing the bioenergetic field. What on earth just happened?
I don't know what happened. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
that was me. I'm so sorry. I just took off your sharing so that we can see your beautiful face.
Oh, there we go. Hi
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, where am I? There I am. Okay, I have to move my
So
camera
let's just say if I have
back.
discomfort of my lower back, or what program would you recommend to help me with my discomfort?
Soothing the low back, that one.
Yeah, soothing. Yeah.
So if you look at where it says soothing after exercise, soothing joints, soothing low back, so that would soothe your low back. If your low back was uncomfortable, then that's how you would, that's when you would apply that program. And it's quite effective, actually. We actually have
Great.
published papers on it.
So
So
the women care. So one of the question was like, any recommendations about women wanted to work on their weight, maybe help with their weight management, or can you share a little bit of how to use the women care program? Is it gonna help with the hormonal balance, etc.?
um, we talked about adding those programs. There is a protocol that helps with managing blood sugar and insulin, harmonizing the function of the adipose so that it's more receptive to proper signaling. But that is not in this edition. It will be added. Um, it just takes time. You have to go through the regulatory process. You have to go through the engineering process. You have to go through the language that you use to describe the protocol. So I gave them a list of programs that we are using now that they can add, and we'll see how long it takes for that to
That's
happen.
exciting. It's on the pipeline, so which is great. And I did remember you mentioned about the vagus nerve has certain function. One of the functions of the vagus nerve is to regulate the blood sugar, right? So do you think it might be beneficial in the meantime if people wanted to regulate their blood sugar using the vagus nerve program?
It's possible that harmonizing the function of the vagus, that the removing the interference in the bioenergetic field between the proper function of the vagus, that might help reduce stress and help with blood sugar. That's definitely worth a try.
Yeah, what other program would you recommend based on whatever available at this point for women to manage their weight?
Concussion, emotional relax and balance, and vagus harmony. Yeah. And
And I guess one of the question was, what is the difference between nerve and vagus nerve programs?
a nerve
The nerve
harmonizing
harmony.
yeah, nerve is for like a peripheral nerve, a nerve that comes from your spinal cord down to your hand. The vagus nerve comes out of the brain and it operates your vocal cords, your swallowing, your digestion, um, blood sugar, immune system. The vagus is the longest nerve in the body and has many functions. You can just Google what is the function of the vagus nerve, and you'll see the difference. Nerve harmony is like a nerve from your neck to your hand or from your low back to your foot.
So if I have discomfort in certain part of my body, I want to soothe those area, the nerve harmony might help, right? If I place in certain places to serve those nerve discomfort.
And I would suggest putting the Meg Healy where that nerve starts. So if you have nerve pain, disharmony in the nerve that goes from your neck to your hand, then you put the Meg Healy up by your neck. If you have disharmony in the nerve that goes down your leg, you put the Meg Healy up near the low back where that nerve starts.
And there are also two
Sense?
different joint programs. I think one is called Joint and one is called Joint Harmony. Do you know the major difference between those two joint programs?
Talked about that, and I suspect they'll be combining them. One is for the kind of disharmony that is created when a joint is injured, and the other is when a joint is just uncomfortable and
So
has
which one is which?
lost. Let me look. Soothing joint. One is soothing joint injury. So the soothing joint injury is after an injury, and then soothing joint is more just for joint comfort.
So there's one called joint balance. So the ones that joint is for more injury and the joint balance for discomfort?
Yeah, I would say. And they're talking about combining those two. So we'll see how that, once again, that takes time to
and just to
modify
reiterate, there's a two for soft tissue. The soft tissue is for immediate in discomfort, but longer discomfort, week 1 to 4 is for longer. That has happened a few weeks ago. What about longer term, like something that happened like a couple months or years ago for soft tissue? Which one should we use?
The week 1 to week 4 is good, even long term. Even when, and the soft tissue is in the muscles, in the any soft tissue, right?
Right. And I'm just trying to go through some of the questions. Is there going to be a therapist program available, like or is that something in the future?
That's in the future. They've talked about that, and I don't know when that's going to be implemented.
And so is it possible to have? Yeah, is it possible to create some kind of menu? Is that something that you're working with Healy and kind of give us some kind of menu with the right language so that people can actually can use their Meg Healy effectively?
That I would suggest you talk to the Time Waver and Healy World people about. Any language that they create has to be cleared with the legal department, with the regulatory department, as well as marketing. So is it language that the average user can understand? Is it language that the regulatory authorities will let us use? Is it language that the legal department approves of? And now that Healy and Meg Healy has become so helpful for so many people it's we've ended up having to be much more careful about the language that we use to describe what we do. So I'm sure they're working on it. As far as I know, they're working on it. You can check with Martina and with Shyam about those kinds of questions, and it might be useful to have them on a subsequent podcast.
There's a program called Thalamus Harmony, and one of the questions, does this help with weight?
No, no, the thalamus is a part of the brain that has to do with body comfort and certain emotional states, negative, body comfort, and I don't know how to describe it without getting myself in trouble, but it's very specific. So people that have had disharmony or dysfunction in the thalamus will know that the thalamus is involved, and it should only be used in those cases, I would think. But as far as I know, it won't hurt you. So, but I would use brain balancing unless you know specifically that your disharmony exists in the thalamus.
Some good questions regarding parasite, mold toxicity. Any suggestion which program may be helpful in harmonizing the bioenergetic field for those issues?
For parasites, those usually exist in the digestive system. So soothing, what is it called? Harmonizing digestion. That may be useful to assist in if you have a parasite or you have had a history of parasite illness, you go traveling, you become ill, and then you come home, and after that, your digestion is just not right. Then you would take medication to actually kill the parasite, and then use the Healy to harmonize digestion. And there are frequencies that would help balance the tissue after the parasite is gone. Does that make sense?
Yep. So I guess one of the major thing is like detoxing, like mold or other detox. For detoxing the body, I'm trying to look at, there is not a program. Which program would you suggest is great for detoxing?
Detoxification support. The frequencies have more to do with enhancing the ability of the liver to and harmonizing the liver's function in detoxification. Mold is very specific and needs to combine medical treatment with protocols that we use for mold detoxification. And I think that function is going to have to wait for the professional version to come out next year or the year after, the programmable version. So,
You
and
mentioned
there's
the
questions.
liver. Which program would be helpful in
Detoxification support. The liver is what does the detoxification functions in the body. So to
okay, so there's a
harmonize
detox program. Would that be the one?
detoxification support would be to harmonize the liver, remove interference in the bioenergetic field in the liver. And
there's a
mold is
question on
very
thyroid as well.
on what?
There's a
Thyroid?
question about thyroid. Which program is beneficial for
Yeah,
harmonizing the thyroid?
yeah, there isn't any. The thyroid is very complicated. There's hyperthyroid, there's hypothyroid, there's antibodies to the thyroid hormone, there's antibodies to the thyroid gland. The thyroid is not a bioenergetic, over-the-counter sort of harmonization issue. So
Ladies,
thyroid,
I'm so sorry to interrupt you guys, but our translators there need to go. And I know we absorbing so many informations from you, Caroline, and I think we are super, super grateful for this. And this can go on and on and on. But I believe we can all agree that this technology is the absolute amazing technology. And I believe whatever program we're using, it has amazing benefits. But certainly the whole community wants to know everything so much in detail. But I believe it is a little bit similar like Healy in the sense that we need to experience a lot to understand how it works in our own body. Would you agree with this one, Dr. Caroline?
It's more, well, yes, experience it in your body, and it is more specific than the Healy. The Healy
Yes.
runs single cell and generally harmonizes the field. Frequency specific microcurrent is very specific. So that would be the major difference. And there was one question, can you use the Healy and the Mag Healy both? And I would say, of course, you can use both. People find benefit with the Healy. It works completely differently because it has frequencies from Nunamina. And the McMakin frequencies are from the early 1900s. They're very specific. And I think you can use both. And I recommend that you take the names of the programs in the Mag Healy and use them and see how you feel. It's
awesome.
brain balancing, emotional relax, and vagus harmony. Those are my favorites. And if all of that works,
amazing.
the body tends to work better.
There is already so much gratitude coming into the chat. If you look, I think it's been an absolutely amazing call. I give you the honor to close the call, May, because you've been pushing for it, of course. But everybody of you guys, you can already start showing your gratitude to Dr. Caroline, of course, for bringing something like this to life, and of course sharing her amazing knowledge here with us. So I want to say thank you as well, and I want to give it up to May. Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you again so much, Dr. McMakin, for taking this time out of your busy schedule to educate our global community. We are very, very grateful for your time, and we will continue to learn with a humble heart and from just trying to soak up from your experience. And thank you everybody for participating. And I guess we're just gonna feel free to unmute yourself and just say goodbye and thank you. And we'd love to invite you back again to for another session in the near future. Thank you very much.
Dr. McMakin, so appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Gracias.
就说好，那你要去赶快去叫他们，大家就定一个时间。
Merci.
回去在群里。
Thank you everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.